They'll be talking about how students can get involved here on campus, and someone who should know a little bit about that, Director of Student Involvement, Barbara Patterson. Barbara, thanks for joining me here today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
And as always, bring you in here at the beginning of the semester to talk about opportunities for students to get involved, but to the beginning of the fall semester, probably more importantly for the incoming freshmen to know about how they can get involved. So first and foremost, before we get into some specifics, just tell us about why it's so important for students to get involved in extracurricular activities.
Well, one of the things that is so important for our students is to find their niche, their home away from home at Troy University. We recognize that students have a broad variety of interests, and there are so many clubs and organizations out there that represent a wide diversity of interest. So we hope that a student can find their little niche, their place here at Troy, so they can feel comfortable and happy here. We also think it's so advantageous for them to not only make friends with other students who have the same interests, but their faculty advisors that they develop relationships with. And sometimes those student organizations can help them with their own particular career interests.
And of course, that's one of those things where it helps out in the classroom, because you mentioned there some of those groups, there are a lot of groups on campus that are related directly to academic curricula, that they're academic organizations or other types of organizations like that. So one of the hidden benefits of being a part of a group, right?
Exactly. In fact, the majority of organizations that are on campus have to do with a student's major. So that is absolutely correct.
Now, one of the things, and we talk about for the fall, the importance of freshmen learning about how to get involved. Now, for a lot of freshmen, they're in a new environment. They're probably nervous. They don't know, they're not used to the environment.
Exactly.
You see that a lot, but what advice do you give to a freshman about how they can find their place, how to find one of these groups or organizations, or how to get involved anywhere on campus?
Well, the first thing I would say to a freshman is try to get over that initial fear of going to a meeting. Grab a roommate, grab somebody else maybe who might attend that first meeting with you. Student organizations are designed and they're geared up to have new people come to their meetings. They're going to be very opening. They're going to be very welcoming. They need to look for signs and posters that are being put up. If somebody invites them to go to an organizational meeting or event, just go. Just check it out. Just as simple as that. Trojan today is gearing back up, and they've got lots of organization first meetings that are going to be held on there. Check out their Trojan Today, email every day, look to see is there something that I'm really interested in that I would like to go to. And
of course, one of the things is they're maybe nervous about going to that first meeting, you know. And I guess it helps to knock those fears away by saying, you know what, you're not the only one, right?
Oh, absolutely. They won't be the only one. And I heard an expression a long time ago that everybody should be a freshman at something all their lives. So you know that they survived the first days of middle school, they survive the first days of high school, and they'll survive the first meetings of campus organizations. They're not very threatening.
Of course, but it's not just for freshmen. I know we're sitting here talking to freshmen, but there may be a lot of upperclassmen that just have not found the time to expand beyond the classroom. Obviously, and we've talked about this before, it's very important to find something outside of the classroom to expand your personality and your interest, right?
Exactly. It is very important. And I think upperclassmen should not be hesitant. If they didn't do something their freshman year, go ahead, especially if they've gotten into their major, try out an organization with their major.
And of course, your office helps out a lot with these opportunities that are there. And we'll talk a little about how your office helps out. But first, what kind of groups can a student find on campus? Like, what types of varieties of groups can they find on campus?
Well, you know, one of the things that always like to point out, especially the freshmen, is to look at our faith-based organizations.
Okay.
We have lots of religious organizations on campus, and if they come from a religious background, it'd be a natural tie-in to continue with their, with their faith through one of the religious organizations. And then, and of course, our churches here in Troy are so unbelievably supportive of our students and would love for them to join a church while they're here in Troy. Then the academic organizations that we talked about, almost practically every major on campus has an academic organization, and everybody at the point that they have decided their major should look into the organization with their major. Then, of course, there's honor societies, and then there's our Greek organizations. And in fact, our Greek organizations just finished their recruitment periods, and then our MPHC organizations are having a meet and greet this Thursday. We also have leadership and service and special interest organizations. There might be a student who volunteered for Habitat, and they might like to join the Habitat organization. There's an American Red Cross Club. There's Circle K has their first interest meeting tonight, which is all about service, and they're so excited about this will be the inaugural year of the Circle K's Dance Marathon, which is an annual tradition on many campuses. So there is so much to look for. A wide variety.
And now, if anyone out there is interested in getting your help or your office's help, where can they find you? How can they find this information?
We're in the Trojan Center. We're in room 215. I always say we're the first office as you leave Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
It says SGA on the outside of it, and we are certainly more than welcome to talk to students and try to delve into what their interests are and lead them to a specific direction.
And of course, in that student who has no idea what they want to get involved in can walk in and you can help them out.
Absolutely. We'd be glad to do that.
All right, and if they want to make a call, what's the number they can call?
We are 334-670-3204.
All right, Barbara, well, hopefully some students out there will find their place here on campus through your office.
We hope so.
Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.